It is a great pleasure to welcome everyone on DepEd TV. It's me, Maricon, and I am here to help you be Sci connected. How are you today? Are you ready for another day of learning? Before we start, make sure you have your pen, paper, and self-learning module. Can you still recall our previous lesson? Our previous lesson is all about the particle size of mixtures and the methods of separating mixtures as well. How will you differentiate the particles of homogeneous from heterogeneous mixture? The particles of homogeneous mixture are mixed together. There is no clumping of the particles, while the particles of heterogeneous mixture have large aggregations or clumps. What are the types of mixtures based on particle size? The types of mixtures based on particle size are solutions, colloids, and suspensions. What are the methods of separating mixtures mentioned on our last episode? These are the use of magnet, filtration, decantation, and evaporation. Impressive! Your memory is too sharp. You are now ready for the next lesson. Let us further discuss mixtures. But before that, try to answer these questions. Prepare your pen and paper. Read each question to be flashed on the screen. Write the letter of the correct answer. Are you ready? Let's begin! Number 1. To separate salt from water in a seawater mixture, what process is used? A. Filtration. B. Distillation. C. Evaporation. D. Condensation. The method used in separating salt and water is evaporation. The correct answer is letter C. Number 2. All are techniques which help to separate components of mixtures. Which of these is not? A. Mixing. B. Filtration. C. Distillation. D. Evaporation. Among the choices, mixing is not a technique on separating the components of mixtures. The right answer is letter A, mixing. Number 3. What is the best tool to use in separating the iron parts from a mixture? A. Water. B. Spoon. C. Magnet. D. Filter paper. Iron is a metal and can be attracted to magnet. If there are mixtures with iron, you can use magnet to separate iron from it. The correct answer is letter C. Number 4. How will you separate the coconut pulp or sapal from coconut milk? What process will you use? A. Filtration. B. Distillation. C. Evaporation. D. Condensation. Coconut pulp can be separated from coconut milk using a strainer. The use of this tool describes a filtration technique. So, the correct answer is letter A, filtration. Number 5. All are techniques which help to separate components of mixtures. Which of the following is not? A. Filtration. B. Decantation. C. Evaporation. D. Condensation. Filtration, decantation, and evaporation are all methods of separating mixtures except for condensation. The correct answer is letter D. How's the pre-assessment? Did you find it hard? You have nothing to worry about because we are going to elaborate on this throughout this episode. I hope that everything's clear about our previous lesson. We have identified methods of separating mixtures, and for continuation, we will try to define and use those methods. Are you ready? Well then, prepare yourselves and enjoy watching while learning. Anyway, here are your learning goals for today's lesson. Number 1. Define the methods of separating the components of mixtures. 2. Apply the methods of separating the components of mixtures. And 3. Explain the value of mixtures in daily life. Separation of mixtures is used to transform a mixture into its distinct products. With this, we are able to find out the properties of the substances from mixtures and possibly use them for the production of useful substances such as medicine. Are you ready? It's experiment time with Maricon. The materials needed for the experiment are 1/4 cup of rice, tea bag, hot water. Always be careful in handling containers with hot water. Improper handling may cause burn on your skin. Ask for an adult's assistance. Tap water, salt, beaker, iron stand, alcohol lamp. Operate only under adult supervision and never leave the lamp unattended. Iron nails, flour, magnet. Let's start with filtration. Filtration is separation of solids or group of solids from the liquid in a mixture using a medium through which the liquid can pass. Example of this are tea and hot water. Let's try to combine them. Tea and hot water are combined, but tea is separated from water because the tea is in the paper filter. Second is decantation. It is where the mixture of a liquid and an insoluble solid is allowed to go down. Examples are rice and water. Let's try to combine them. We usually do this when cooking rice for our meal. When water and rice are mixed, the rice as insoluble solid will settle at the bottom of the container. Then, we can separate the rice from water. Third is evaporation. Examples are salt and water. Let's try to mix them. The salt, when mixed with water, will dissolve. Let's try evaporation and see if the salt will be separated from the water. The water turned into gas and the salt remained in the beaker. Last is the use of magnet. Examples are flour and iron nails. Let's mix them together. When flour and iron nails are mixed, it can be separated with the use of magnet. Look at this. Iron nail is attracted to magnet while flour is not. So iron nails can be separated from flour. Did you learn from the experiment? Let's find out. Complete the table. Prepare your pen and paper. Are you ready? Let's begin. Complete the table flashed on the screen. Identify the type of mixture and the separation technique used. Use the information you have gathered from the experiment. I will give you enough time to answer. Time's up! Let's check your answers. First mixture is iron nails and flour. Type of mixture, heterogeneous. Separation technique, use of magnet. Second mixture is tea and hot water. The type of mixture is homogeneous. Separation technique is filtration. Third mixture is salt and water. Type of mixture, homogeneous. Separation technique, evaporation. Last mixture is rice and water. The type of mixture, heterogeneous. Separation technique, decantation. How's the activity? Did you learn from it? Well then, I congratulate you! You made it! There are lots of methods in separating mixtures. Some are distillation, sublimation, crystallization, and centrifugation. Now, it's science fact time with Maricon. Did you know that pineapples, oranges, and tomatoes are actually berries? A true berry is simple fleshy fruit formed from the ovary of one flower with seed embedded with the flesh. Very interesting, right? That's today's short science fact with Maricon. Mixtures are everywhere. It is a combination of different things that are not chemically combined. For example, when we make a fruit salad, it is the combination of milk, cream, fruits, and other ingredients. Mixtures can also be much simpler than that. Sometimes, the different parts of mixtures can be separated into individual entities, like couples who choose to be separated. Others are combined like couples who chose to be married as long as they exist. Most of the food that we eat is a combination of different things. Do we eat meal with one ingredient? Most of the times, not. Food mixtures are heterogeneous mixtures. An example is a bowl of halo-halo. We can still separate the ingredients from the other. Now, let's test your mastery of the lesson. Prepare your pen and paper. Read the questions to be flashed on the screen. Write the letter of your answer. I will give you enough time to answer each question. Are you ready for the assessment? Let's start! Number 1. Ethan wants to separate the marbles in a jar full of water. Which of the following is the best way to separate the mixture? A. Dissolving. B. Evaporation. C. Decantation. D. Use of magnet. The best way to separate the mixture of marbles and water is decantation. The correct answer is letter C. Number 2. Which of the following will Jeoffrey do to segregate the rubber bands of different colors? A. Filtration. B. Decantation. C. Evaporation. D. Physical manifestation. Rubber bands can be segregated into different colors by hand picking, which is an example of physical manifestation. The correct answer is letter D. Number 3. Which of the following materials should be used to separate a mixture of iron nails and sand? A. Magnet. B. Spoon. C. Filter paper. D. Alcohol lamp. Iron nail is a metal attracted to magnet. We can use a magnet in separating it from sand. The right answer is letter A. Number 4. Which of the following uses evaporation as means of separating the components of given mixture? A. Oil and water. B. Salt and water. C. Sand and gravel. D. Pebbles and water. In our experiment, we used evaporation to separate salt from water. The correct answer is letter B. Number 5. Mixtures can be found everywhere. Which of the following is not an example of mixture? A. Air. B. Hydrogen. C. Halo-halo. D. Fruit salad. Among the choices, all are mixtures except for hydrogen, which is a substance. The correct answer is letter B. We are now done discussing today's lesson, and I congratulate you for that. You are now ready to explore the next lesson. Now, it's time to be connected on one of our question sender in Connected on DepEd TV page. Our question sender is Sam, 13 years old from May Kawayan National High School, Schools Division of May Kawayan. Her question is, what are the different non-Mendelian traits? What is a non-Mendelian trait? This refers to inheritance that have more complex genetic basis than one gene with two alleles and complete dominance. The different non-Mendelian traits are multiple alleles, codominance, incomplete dominance, polygenic traits, traits affected by environment, pleiotropy, and epistasis. Thank you so much for your question, Sam. Hope that everyone gained additional information from it. If you have science questions, simply post it in Connected on DepEd TV page. Kindly follow this format. If available, try to prepare the following for the experiment. 6 teaspoons of sugar, 1 cup of water, 1 measuring cup with 1 cup capacity, 1 measuring spoon with 1/2 teaspoon capacity, 2 small clear plastic cups or plastic bottle, 2 stirrers or spoon. Well, this will be the end of Module 3. And to end this module, let's sing the song about substance and mixtures for the last time. Are you ready? Let's sing it all together!
Matter has 2 broad classes, mixtures and substances, each one with differences. Let us start with their appearances. Homogeneous or heterogeneous, telling a substance from a mixture, can be used
Hope that you have learned new lessons today. Thank you so much for sticking with me and see you on the next episode. Learning does not stop here. If you want to watch my previous episodes or a replay of this episode, simply go to DepEd TV official YouTube channel. Then be sure to subscribe and click the bell to be notified every time we release a new video. Again, this is Ma'am Maricon and Samin scientifically saying, think critically, do things differently, and that develops your ability.